It's Friday night. A lot of people are going to plan to go out to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some people are saving their money just for a weekend outing at a restaurant, and this is a restaurant town. That is for darn sure. If you are new to Houston, Texas, well, welcome to Food World, because we have great food here and a lot of fantastic restaurants. People who have moved away, that's the one thing they lament. Man, the food in Houston
I
is so
believe
good.
we looked this up the other day. There are 13,000 restaurants in Houston,
The Houston
Texas.
Chronicle, last week they had like the top 100.
Mm-hmm. I realized I hadn't
Some of them
heard
are so
most of them.
fancy we have not heard
I know.
of them.
I'm like, what is this?
I'm like, this
what
is too
is
fancy
this?
with
I saw
the,
this one that they're trying to get a Michelin star.
Yes.
What's a Michelin star?
The
Like
Michelin
tire?
star is the highest, most revered award in culinary everything. And it all started about the Michelin tires. You can look at the whole origin story about how like the distances driving to get to wherever. Something about the Michelin tire turned
On
into the
TikTok,
Michelin star. They would
there's a-
star it on
There's
the...
a place in Kemah, I don't know the name, but this guy does like a 27-course meal.
27
Well, that means every single course is like one
And it was
bite,
like
a tablespoon
yeah.
or something.
And the stuff looked so weird. I'm like,
Ugh. You're like, is
so
this
fancy.
edible?
Like, you got to tell me a story before I eat it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
if it looks like a piece of artwork.
yeah. I mean, it's really cool. There's one that looks like a snake, but it's actually a noodle.
Oh.
Like a small little, like, red,
I don't
red
think I
nut.
want to eat something that looks like a snake, though. Because
But
in
it's
your
like a
mind...
small, like a little tiny, it's that same color.
Okay.
This guy's like an artist. I wish I knew the name of the restaurant.
And then you feel guilty eating it.
I know.
No,
It's so much work they put into
unless
it.
you like snake. There
It's like
are
those people
that
when
like
they do
snake.
the designs. Roll, I saw your Instagram. You had a latte with
Oh my God, I had a...
cappuccino with you and your husband's face in it.
Yes, on our anniversary, we went to that restaurant, Turner's Cut, y'all were talking about, and
Yeah.
they totally surprised us. They brought me an espresso martini decaf because they knew I had to wake up the next day, and they had taken the picture of Roula and Tasso's wedding from Google, and they put it all in the foam of the espresso martini.
Oh, we should take
Wow.
pictures.
Incredible.
We'll take Kevin there, and then they'll Google that one where he has the burn on his face.
You're really trying to get him this morning.
Why are you trolling him so hard today?
No,
It's
no.
hilarious just to see. Like,
I
He's
thought
just
you
a
were
baby.
It
hilarious.
looked like he's got a giant fever blister.
I just had a burn mark from a pizza pocket.
Okay, well,
It was a tragic burn. It was an incident.
Hot pocket.
Yeah, when they
Was it
squirt
tragic,
out,
Kevin?
It was.
That
it
cheese
was.
that squirts and it just sits there.
Burned him.
It just sat there. I was like, someone give me a napkin.
oh my God, the hot pocket burn you for life. For life. Okay, just real quick sidebar. The Michelin star origin, I'll tell you 2 seconds. I looked it up to make it legit. In 1900, there were fewer than 3,000 cars on the roads in France. The brothers that created Michelin tires, their last name was Michelin, Edouard and Andre Michelin, they published a guide for French motorists to drive to different places to get them to drive more. Therefore, you need tires.
Oh.
Like you wear out your tires. And it turned into this whole thing of the
I'm going
places
for the
they
Midas
would pick.
Muffler Award.
Yeah, the Midas Muffler Award. It turned into this whole thing about high end. Like you had to have a certain threshold to be a Michelin starred restaurant, and that's what's.
I'm going to the Meineke
Right.
Club.
There's
So
a
what is our
restaurant.
threshold? Eculent is the restaurant that has the Michelin star, Eric.
They're trying. They're going for it.
Oh,
What's
they're
it
going
called?
for it.
Eculent?
ECULENT.
What does that even mean?
Eculent, and it's on Harris Avenue in Kemah.
What does eculent mean?
So
Well,
go
we're
to-
not going to go through the
check it
dictionary
out.
today. Let's just go to the threshold of patience. That's
Means
one thing we
good
can all relate to.
food.
You've been to a restaurant and something ticks you off because it took too long and you are about to riot. What is that? Well, in a survey across America of people who are eating in restaurants and looking at their patience levels, it takes less than 30 minutes for the average American to get frustrated when waiting for their food to arrive after placing an order for delivery.
Okay, yeah.
For delivery. And then when you are in the restaurant, the survey revealed that from the moment you walk into a restaurant, only 21% are willing to wait 10 minutes. I am not willing to wait 10 minutes to be seated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like being.
10 minutes to be seated?
If you, especially if you have a reservation.
No, I'm just
that's
saying you
the
walk
latest
up into
thing
a
now.
restaurant that has tables and
Yeah.
nobody's at the desk to come tell you, hey, hi, how many are you? Come
Eric,
sit
you're so
down.
right. That's the latest thing. I had, and it wasn't an argument, but I had words. We had reservations.
You had strong words.
No, they weren't. I'm polite because I know they're just doing their job. I'm like, I don't think you fully understand the concept of a reservation. A reservation means that you have my table waiting at this specific time. We got there for the reservation. It's just going to be 15 minutes. And I'm like,
Because those people keep eating. And
I'm
they
like,
won't
They
leave.
can't control that. Though. That's
I
the hard
understand
part.
it, but
if
like,
they said 15, that's fine. If
what's
they said
the
an
point
hour.
of having a reservation if the table's not actually reserved
Because it's a
for
guessing
you?
game. It is a guessing game. Unless you were the reservation at 5 o'clock when that restaurant opened, Ryan, you're going to get seated right away at 5 o'clock. But if you have a reservation 8 o'clock,
not 90.
it is,
I'm not
it
eating
is
at
a
5
guessing
o'clock.
game. It's a guessing game of, okay, this is a table for 2. We're going to put a reservation here at 6. And by 8, this one should be clear again. But that couple's all in love. and they're looking at each other and having extra drinks and
Taking
desserts
time.
and whatever, and they're looking at each other, and you're like, oh my God. That's why I hated working Valentine's Day, because it was so hard to move tables. I was like, oh my God, you guys are killing me, because the wait is so long, because the tables are slower to get the heck out
And
the
then
door.
you have servers that you have to seat
A few years
first
ago,
before
Kevin-
other because they have seniority, and
Right,
then they get
right,
really
right.
I
mad.
took Kevin and Sam and Booster. We all went to dinner at a restaurant. Remember, we sat down and they go, "Okay, you have to be out by 8:30 or whatever."
Oh, they
it was.
give you
It
an
was
exit
like
time.
It was like an hour and a half we had.
Wow.
I think
I was so
didn't they
mad.
put down a
We were really
timer?
mad.
Was
was
it just me or
something-
they put down a timer?
was-
Because
it
I
was
went
something-
to
playing Beat
Was
the
that
Clock.
here in Houston or somewhere else?
That was Chicago.
Yeah.
There was a place in Houston.
There
that's,
is.
the one
Yeah.
Gracie's.
Grace's across
Grace's?
from Carrabba's on Kirby.
I saw
was in
that.
the
Also,
news
there's
last
one
week for
across
doing
from
a
the
90-minute timeline.
across from the Children's Museum.
Bistro
What's that
Manil.
No, it's not Bistro
good.
Manil.
MF Sushi?
No, it's a little brunch place.
Okay.
And
Well, our timeline for getting mad about how long it takes our food.
Lucille's.
Lucille's?
Yeah.
Okay. How long it takes you to get your food. Your impatience starts to set in at 13 minutes. Once your order is set and you're waiting for the food, 13 minutes before your impatience
How about
starts to set
apps
in.
when you order appetizers? Like, I hate you order an appetizer, then the main course
Because it
comes
delays the main course.
No, I don't mind that, but I just don't want them coming like
At
5
the same
minutes.
time.
I want
Yeah.
the appetizer, and then you eat that, and then the food will come in like 15 minutes, 20
Yeah.
minutes. I don't want. You get
Or
the
what
Well, you
appetizer,
get like
and then
5 minutes, and then it's like, well,
Why do you even
I'm
waste
like
my money on
scarfing down the
appetizer?
appetizer to, yeah.
Or
I
you order a soup and a salad and they don't ask you which one you want first. And then because they didn't ask you, you're just thinking, okay, I guess I'll get my soup.
Right.
And then it comes at the same time as your sandwich. And you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, that happened to us. I guess
Sam and I went to lunch and she ordered what? A sandwich and a soup.
and
And then I was like,
But the
gosh,
soup-
that's weird. Where's your soup? Huh.
right, we thought that would have came with the appetizers, but it didn't.
And because I got a salad.
and then I got filled up on the soup, so I couldn't even eat my sandwich.
Oh, that's a bummer.
because when it comes at the same time, my
I
whole
never had
point,
that problem.
my whole point of
kidding.
ordering a
Soup was really
soup,
good, though.
like with a salad, right? Some people do like these half sandwich, half soup things, so
Yeah,
that will
the
be the same
combos.
plate. But if like Sam had ordered a whole sandwich meal, like it was a whole sandwich with a side, so the soup was because we're starving. I mean, when Sam and I got there, we were starving.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, I'll get a salad. She got a soup. We have something immediate's going to come to us to eat.
Yeah.
And I had the salad, and I was like, oh, it's weird. Where's your soup? And then we're talking, and then boom, here comes the soup and the sandwich, and I was like, oh, now
That's
you're not
annoying
gonna eat it
when
all.
one person's meal does
Can I
not
just
come
get
at
a
the
to-go
same
box?
time.
You can't eat
Yeah.
soup in the summertime.
I know. Who's
know.
eating hot soup when it's
so
like 95
comforting.
degrees out?
It's just so comforting.
restaurants-
Would you
Sometimes
guys
they're
not
freezing.
say that this is probably the most annoying
I want
thing?
soup right
When
now.
you are seated at a restaurant and you've ordered and you're waiting on your food and you see people that got there way after you and they've already been served.
Yeah,
that does annoy me. I
That's
do agree.
probably the number one gripe
And then
I
I had to
have.
look, what did we order that's taking so long? Did they tell me it's going to take
Yes.
30 minutes
I
to cook
find
something? Nope.
That Ryan, when it comes to the bathroom, he likes to look at other guys when they pee, and he likes to look at other people when they eat. Because you've told many stories, you and your fiance will look at people and make stories up, and you guys spend more time looking at other
She
people
does, I do.
than your own
What's happening at your table?
table.
No, what I'm saying is,
right?
it's
He's a record
annoying
checker,
though
and he
when
does
you
that.
when you've ordered and maybe you've got
Kevin?
a server who's not doing a good job, and you know that people have clearly gotten here way.
But
after
you're looking
you,
all around.
and
I feel
they're-
like you're not in the moment. I feel
Oh,
like
I'm
you're-
absolutely
You're
in the
not
moment.
savoring life's
You're too busy looking at everybody
Now you're
else.
trying to troll me.
Well, no, you told me outright because I order something like big and ridiculous. Oh my God, you know how many calories are in
I
that?
have not done that in
Ryan's been
years.
food
That
shaming
is
us for years.
That is the words that come out of your mouth.
And you have food
I
shamed us on
haven't done that
appetizers
in
for
years.
years.
Last week you did that to me. You said, "How many calories, Tubby?"
Yes,
I'm
yes,
like, come on.
Tubby.
Now he's lying.
I'm like,
He's
dude.
not. Y'all know
And he
the real
poked you in your little
Yeah.
belly.
He's like,
like a Pillsbury
Warm
Doughboy.
today, Aaron.
Coming up next.
So rude.
We're bringing it back from
I'm
the
taking
special
a
case
name, I'm
prank
playing
call
the
today.
game.
I'm trying to roll it through. I'm trying to roll it on through. Special case prank call today was a daughter who wanted to prank her dad, Ernesto, who had all this Halloween decorations. So Kevin put on the HOA voice. Now, we started talking about like different HOA things, like ridiculous thresholds, and people were texting. I said, we got to bring this back. So, because we haven't really given a focus to the HOA chaos in a long time. 833-390-KRBE. What has your HOA put you through? Like, we get there's a reason for them, but many people generally believe you're not giving the person with the hot pink skull and crossbones house any problems, but you're coming over here measuring my blades of grass.
And how about with the holiday lights? Everyone's putting them up now. Is that a rule on
Is somebody gonna
HOA?
tell you don't like
can't-
them
You
yet?
can only have so many lights. You can't have 460. You have to have.
It's bringing too much traffic to our
These
street.
people need to get a life.
It's causing chaos.
So let's get the HOA people up.
833-390-KRBE. Tell us
Oh.
your HOA story. Next on The Real and Ryan Show.
104.1 KRBE. It's the Roula and Ryan show. You know, one of the most frustrating things I dealt with was the HOA in my neighborhood.
Everybody
It was just
has-
so terrible.
Somebody said, Ryan, it's if you can't beat it, it's a very much can't beat them, join them situation with
But I don't
homeowners
understand
associations.
the logic. Like, they're out there with a ruler measuring the grass blades from my house, but yet 3 houses down, there's this lime green house. Windows are busted out. They've got boards in the windows for 3
Maybe they're
solid
trying
years.
to.
But no,
get that
if
one.
it's an abandoned house, they've probably
No,
sent
it's not.
1,000 letters,
They put a lien
and
on it.
nobody has
They put a lien on
There's
your
a
house?
guy, I see him going in and out all the time.
Well, then you should walk up to his door, Ryan.
Once
This
again,
is
Ryan
Texas.
just watching
We're
other
so
people
friendly.
instead of watching himself.
Yeah.
See?
I am
Restaurant.
You stop
There's an
trolling today.
example. All right, let's go to the phones. 833-390-KRBE. Let me see. Where do I want to start with this? Okay. Trash can situation. Emily, let's go. Hi, Emily. Good morning.
Hey guys.
Happy
Friday.
Happy Friday. Things that you don't realize about your
Happy
neighborhood
Friday.
until you move in.
Oh.
Somebody didn't tell you when you were trying to buy that house how savage the HOA is because they wanted you to buy the
Oh,
house.
good point.
What happened in your neighborhood, Emily?
Well, I mean, going into buying a house, you kind of already know, like, if it's an HOA situation, it's just going to be a nightmare no matter what. But so we live in a gated community in the Heights. So there's only like 20 houses in this little neighborhood nook. And they are just like these nightmares. They, measure your fences. They make sure your trash cans are put away where they're supposed to every time. Make sure that the garage paint matches everybody else's. But we had, like, our direct next door neighbor was a great guy, fantastic. And then something happened and he got onto drugs and was cooking meth in his house.
Oh,
He
my.
turned schizophrenic. We had the SWAT team come out 3 different times, like surrounded the house with
3?
helicopters and lights.
Oh, my gosh, Emily.
He had shotguns, and he was like blowing shotguns through his walls in his house,
Oh, my
and he
God.
blew out the windows of his house. And they just let that house sit there and rot. And like the HOA did absolutely nothing. And so it was such a point of contention and stress and fear. We had to install all the security camera and stuff. It was terrifying, but it was so frustrating because they made such a big deal over trash cans and paint color.
See, that's what I'm
And they
saying.
couldn't do anything. I mean,
About that
I'm
house.
sure there's legalities involved with all that, but it was just so frustrating that they didn't
What was the
Why
end
is
game?
care.
Anything happen at the end of this, or is it still
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah, so eventually he had some squatters actually come and live in his house,
Oh.
and they ended up stealing his car. And then he went bankrupt, and the bank ended up foreclosing on the house, thank
Oh,
God.
no.
But now he lives on the streets, and we see him walking around, and he still has access to the gate codes.
Wait,
and
he's
stuff.
homeless?
Oh, my God, y'all should
And
change
so-
the code. Why can't y'all change the
They
code?
have, but he keeps fitting in, and like we still see him walking up and down and like checking out the house. It's
But you
so
can follow
creepy.
people. As soon as somebody gets in,
That's
you can just
scary.
follow them
Yeah.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's walking.
but you
But he
know,
can walk
solution
in.
Yeah,
solves
you're right.
itself.
You're right. You're right.
Walking's easier to sneak
Oh my
in.
God,
they
that is so
finally
frustrating.
forced
Okay, Emily, that
Yeah.
is the epic example
I'd
of
say.
you are shaming me for my trash cans being 5 inches over, but this guy's cooking meth and
That's what I don't
shooting
understand.
shotgun
Why and how they
shells off.
pick and choose their battles. Like, why will they go after something so trivial when there is a real problem over here?
Because they can actually control the trash
true.
can.
Gay
They can't
courts.
control this guy that they've sent the
The
letters and he's
squatters.
ignoring
We
them.
hear the squatters the last 5 months.
They're hard to
The
get rid of.
squatters. Okay, thank you for calling, Emily. I'm glad that situation figured itself out, kind of. Hannah's up next with stories of homeowners associations that just did not go well. Hi, Hannah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, our story is my husband and I, we bought our first home. We moved in, and within like a week or two, we start getting letters with photos from our HOA saying we've made illegal modifications to our home.
Oh,
They
boy.
weren't approved. So, like, things like there was extra trees in the yard, there weren't approved lights under the eaves of the house, things like that.
Ugh.
And we had just moved in. So, and they know, the HOA knows that. They get notifications when new people purchase homes. And they just kept sending the letters no matter how many times we told them, like, we didn't make these modifications. They came with the house.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go and search old emails and on Zillow and HAR to try and find pictures
Oh my
and
gosh.
zoom in to show that these things were there when the house was put for sale. And this was months of back and forth sending them things until they finally just let it go and said, okay, just keep it. But
Like, I bought the house. I
first-time
didn't know.
homeowners moving in and them sending a letter saying, like, you have 15 days, you need to revert all of this back to its original state. You get kind of panic mode.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
rookie. You don't know. You think they
Yeah.
could do stuff.
Especially when it was there before.
Yeah,
You're
so-
like, hello, look at the old pictures.
How's that
Look at
work?
the old pictures.
I guess when you're looking at a house, they know it's HOA. The person's showing you, and you tell them, and then you can call that person and talk to the HOA because you want to find that information out before you buy a house.
It's good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's tricky to find that info.
do they
Sometimes speaking to neighbors
Yes.
is my
Yes,
favorite thing to
Kevin.
do.
If you are shopping for a new house and you have to go at 3 different times in the week to see the house that you have your eyeballs on, to see what is it like during the weekdays, what is it like during like rush time when people are coming home, what's it like on the weekend. You see who's walking around, and you can have a conversation with somebody in their front yard, like, oh hey, what what
thinking
do you
about
like about
buying this
living
house.
here?
You
What do
two
like about living here?
two fellers brothers?
Oh man.
You're like,
Yeah.
Dealt with that, Kevin?
not living here.
Yeah, yes.
we're friendly friends.
wife lives out of town. All right, you tell the young lady.
Really quick, I want to share the story of my townhouse HOA baptism by fire. That phrase is "you are baptized by fire," which is terrible,
You're just
right?
thrown into it.
You're just thrown into it. When I first moved back to Houston, start the Roula and Ryan show, I'm a native Houstonian. I lived with my parents until I moved to Philly, and then here I am. I'm an adult. I've got a radio show, and I have to buy some place that's my own. So I found this townhouse that was, in this neighborhood I liked, close to my family. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I never even thought anything about HOAs, y'all. I had no idea how savage they were. Savage. Savage.
No one tells you about that stuff.
Nobody tells
They
you.
don't.
I mean, they tell
Nobody
you that
tells
there
you.
is one, but you
Yes,
don't
but
know
they
how
don't tell
bad
you
it
how
is.
Or
crazy
they tell
it
you
is.
there's not one. I technically don't have one, but they are. They don't call themselves the HOA.
It's a civic association sometimes, or a POA.
Well, HOA is a little more
POS.
like focused on the houses among them, right? So I remember I had to redo some things in this townhouse. It was an older townhouse, and I wanted to redo the shower. And Kevin, from doing all this work, and Sam, from doing your bathroom, you need like a shower pan inside the floor of the shower.
Yep.
That's what collects the water to drain down the pipes.
Yes.
Okay. So the guy that had done the work, there was some mishap with the shower pan, and there was like a dripping sound. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And if you walked up to the front door of my townhouse, there's like an overhang where the second floor, it's like a little overhang. And that whole thing had like bubbled.
No.
Oh, no.
Yes. So I did, and this is like not too far after I moved in and the work was done. So I called that guy because the HOA sent me a letter that something's going on
They saw the bubble.
at the thing. And I was like, oh
Which is
my
good.
God,
They
I just
noticed.
had work done. So I called the contractor who absolutely had every right to repair this for free, right?
Yeah.
He had just done the work. He was not fighting me on it. He was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Let me come check it out. And
That's
it
his
turns
fault.
out like something got missed. And yes, we are going to fix it, Roula. That's fine. And that's it. The HOA's breathing down my neck about this bubbled piece of wood in my overhang of my front door. He's like, it's fine. We're going to get it done. But, there's like a process. It's not going to happen today.
No, you got to rip that open.
Oh my God, old Clyde Lee. Old Clyde Lee sent me a letter. He's like, if this is not done by Friday, we're going to fine you and you're going to pay for it. We're going to do it ourselves. We're going to fine you. And I go, this guy is coming here. He is coming here on this day to fix this. Y'all, don't you know I finished the
free.
Roula and Ryan show one morning and I get home and there's drilling at my front door and I go, what in the living hell? And old Clyde Lee had sent his own people in there to do whatever the work was at the overhang.
Without your approval.
And then they billed
Yeah.
me $650 for it. I go, what are you doing?
Hell no.
That was going to be free. That was, and the shower pan's not ready yet. That was my baptism by fire with those
When you
crazy
realize-
English HOAers. I could not believe it, y'all. And I try to fight that. And one of my neighbors is an attorney. I go, how am I going to give him the $650 check? And she goes, just write in there on the memo that it's under contention. Like, it's like,
okay.
you didn't really want to give this money.
Did
but
the
you had
dripping
to.
stop?
Well, yeah, because the guy came and fixed the shower
That's
pan.
my thing. Is that if anything, I want
Right.
a couple people to give me bids.
Yes.
I mean, I know you get it for free, but what's this guy say? Maybe that guy did it for 400 and Clyde got 200.
Well,
That's
he
what I'm
charges
saying. I was
600.
so mad.
I'm sure
I was
he
so
had
mad that Clyde took
some
his...
incentive. He was probably also incentivized to.
But he has
use
his own
that
guy.
one
He's like,
guy.
hey, I'll hook you up, man.
Don't you like how I'm giving his
Exactly.
whole name out? He passed away years ago. Don't worry about it. I'm just like, I could
did.
not believe it because then people told me, oh, yeah, you
You could
know
be
about
like,
Clyde.
I watched that Martha Stewart documentary you're talking about.
I started, but I haven't finished it yet.
And she really does not come across nice. She's talking about like somebody had passed away. Oh yeah, this woman from the New York Times. She wrote this nasty article on me. I'm so glad she's dead.
Hey, there are people that feel that
she's
way.
like
about
not a
some of their
nice
critics.
person, man.
But,
at
I mean,
all.
people that are bad, they die. We were supposed to say nice things about them. I mean, if
No,
you're a bad
but-
person, you're a bad person.
You don't have to go out of your way to speak ill of the dead. Is what I'm saying.
I'm just saying,
But if it's a bad
if they made your
person-
life hell, then screw them.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't Taylor
I'll tell the
Swift write an
truth. I'm not
entire
gonna hold
song
back.
about
Yeah.
a bad critic who criticized her? It's called Mean. The song Mean that Taylor Swift sings, it was one of her last country songs before she did the 1989 album, I think. It was about a guy who criticized her, like, you're a terrible singer, blah, blah, blah. And she did this whole song called Mean. She has every right to do that song because that guy was mean. Right?
Yeah,
So,
mean.
I mean, old Clyde was probably just trying to keep order in the neighborhood, but damn it, Clyde.
Cost me
$650 I never
$650.
saw
They
it.
overstep boundaries all the time. I mean, the worst was when the guy let himself into my house. Because
How? How does he let himself into your house? Where do you get the key?
I had contractors there. They were painting, and he didn't even knock on the front door. He just walked in, and he told everybody, "You're not permitted to do this." And he sent my whole crew home. And all they were doing is painting the walls. And
I
it's
didn't like
just
that color you picked.
oh my God! I called the police. I said he entered my property without permission.
Is that like a waste of our policeman's time?
No,
Did you call
I didn't
911
view
for
it as
that?
I didn't view it as such a waste.
There is an intruder. He has a key to my house, and I don't like it.
They're infuriating. If you've got a story you want to share, you can hit the listener line, 713-278-VENT.
Yeah, that's 8368 on your phone. Coming up next, it's the Halloween Hangover Show. How many candy bars did you get last night? Well, a lot of celebrities went out in force in their costumes. Are we going to see these next Halloween? We'll run down some good ideas for you to get ready for next Halloween. Next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
This is Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
On KRBE.
It's brought to you by Taqueria Sarandas. And last night was Halloween. We were talking about, everyone's had different costumes. Like, yesterday here at KRBE, if you go to any of our Instagram at KRBE, you'll see all the different costumes. Our El Jefes wore a pair costume, like a couple's costume.
Yeah, they were AI.
And I was like, wait, let me see what you are. Hold on. This is like a brain.
I thought he was a testicle.
He had taken a
I'm
pink
sure Alex
was a
likes
little
being
weird.
called
It
a
was weird.
testicle.
It was a comforter that he had put marker lines around it like
It looked
crinkles.
like veins.
Cut a hole in it. Gross, Ryan. And then put it over his head like he wears like a sandwich board kind of thing. And his hat had I. And then
The letter I.
the other Jefe, his hat had A. And he had a giant Sweet and Low cardboard on his chest. And then he had like artificial turf on his legs. And he even had a couple of fake fingernails on. And I was like, okay, I got what AI is.
So
but
he
when
was
you're looking at them, I go,
artificial
wait,
and the
I have a
other one-
college degree. Let me try and figure this out.
Artificial testicles.
No, he was supposed to be a brain.
Artificial
Intelligence.
So one was artificial and one was the intelligence. So it's those kinds of costumes that you look forward to, whether it's in your neighborhood, at your work, or you see celebrities at parties making their thing. I feel like the staple person that Halloween loves to focus on every Halloween is Heidi Klum.
Yep.
Yeah.
She has been iconic for her costumes over
She
the
likes to do
years.
scary stuff, because she's beautiful 364 days a year.
Yeah, she's like on 365.
So
I'm
she
be
decided
crazy.
to change it up.
Every year
So-
she does.
But this one, you don't see her face at all. How did she breathe
No, I
in
see
that?
it. It's right here.
Where?
Let me see.
Oh, see, that's why I couldn't figure out how does she.
Entertainment Tonight they were showing how they're putting it together.
Oh, that's
Because she was E.T.
I like
She's
the behind
ET,
the scenes.
the girl, like ET when they dressed up ET in the closet to hide ET as a doll. So ET had the wig and the hat on and was acting like a stuffed animal.
Her eyes are
That's who
where
she
the
was.
throat are.
Yeah, they're in the neck.
Okay, like a
fold in
mascot.
the neck.
Like the mascots, you see wherever the mesh is where like George, our engineer, was in the
Amazing.
T-Rex dinosaur inflatable, and I was like, wait, where am I looking to see who's in there?
I couldn't tell who
His
was.
face was in the neck.
Yeah, in the neck. So you could see a lot of different celebrities in their costumes because she and her husband, Heidi Klum and her husband, both were ET. So she was the one dressed up to camouflage the animals in the
You
stuffed
remember
animals.
last year's?
And then her husband's a regular ET. No,
Look up-
Heidi's last year.
Look up last year. Just type in Heidi Halloween worm.
Halloween
Yeah, that one was
worm.
gross.
That was really gross.
Yeah, she goes for the.
It's kind of cool, though, that you've got one of the most beautiful women that goes out of her way to not be beautiful one day a year.
Oh God! So we said Heidi Klum's worm Halloween costume is horrifying.
And she didn't have arms.
Horrifyingly realistic.
So it's like,
Did she walk? I can't remember. I just remember.
That
She
is
crawl or
so
walk? Let me see
creepy.
that.
No, it almost looks like
yeah, she could walk. With
yeah, it definitely is just something on the sidewalk you would see, and you see her eyeballs in the middle.
Oh, God. That's
I mean, it takes a lot of money and a lot of
Yes, it is.
resources to get these costumes done because
you had
it's
to go to
showing
the
like
bathroom, you'd be
she
in
has to go
trouble.
to an artist studio for months to get her
She's
costumes
probably
done.
used to that stuff. Holding her
What?
stuff. She doesn't go to the bathroom. She knows how to.
Oh, hold her bladder. That's every woman.
I won't drink for-
Why do we do this to ourselves, Sam? Why,
you do it a lot better than I do.
girl? Let me tell you. You got to hold on.
Behind the scenes.
If you are holding your bladder and it hurts when you go, you know you held it too
You
long.
have like 2 giant jugs of like.
Yeah, how do you not
coffee,
like?
So much water and
I get up to
coffee.
pee 20 times during the show. You
Yeah, but you
never.
You had history. Of,
Yeah.
Right, there's a
Answer.
reason.
Yeah.
Here's what I figured out yesterday. Just like we have said on the air before here on the Roula and Ryan show, when our headphones go on, the censorship goes on, right? We know not to say bad words when our headphones go over our head.
Yep.
When I'm in this room, it like locks up my bladder because the rest
know
of the
not to
day,
pee.
I swear 20 minutes I have to go because everything I'm drinking during this show is making me visit the bathroom every 30 minutes after the show.
So that was always my answer, like doctors and that when they're working, like a 6-hour.
Oh, yeah, surgery?
Yeah, what if they? Yeah.
Bathroom break.
They have
Brain
other people to
surgery.
help them. They got other people, and then they probably take a quick break.
Well, yeah, they have to have a lot of people in there to take over for a minute. Okay, let me get to the Starbucks story because, y'all shame me and make fun of me for watching History Channel, the food that made us, the men that built America, all that kind of stuff.
No, it's cool you do that.
So I watched the Starbucks story of Howard Schultz. Howard Schultz took over Starbucks after the guys who ended up owning Peet's Coffee, Peets.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, those guys started Starbucks.
Oh, really?
Yes, those
What
are
year?
the Starbucks guys. I can't remember what year it was.
Was this like 50 years ago or?
No, this is like in the 80s.
Oh, in the
70s and 80s.
It's like
Okay.
1800s.
So the Starbucks guys only wanted to sell Starbucks coffee that's ground in the bag that you come and buy. They were just a coffee store where you bought ground coffee, and then Peet's, Peet''S, had this whole concept. And then those guys bought Peet's, and Howard Schultz bought Starbucks because he tried to copy the Starbucks idea and it wasn't hitting right, and he called it something else. And so when those guys were willing to sell the name Starbucks, he turned it into his old logo of the green circle with his Italian coffee company. He just changed it to Starbucks, and he did the whole Italian cafe thing. That's why it's a venti and a grande and a tall. Okay, Howard Schultz had this idea before he relinquished the reins over at Starbucks, because now it's owned by, now the CEO is the Chipotle guy, after visiting Italy. And he heard that Italians will have a teaspoon of oil with their coffee every morning, for their digestion. You may have seen in Starbucks this whole thing, this oleato. Like, what the hell is this?
They put oil in their
Why
coffee?
are they selling virgin olive oil at Starbucks? Why are they offering me coffee with oil? Well, guess what, guys? Put it in the books as an epic fail, because people that actually tried that coffee commented relentlessly about the bowel movement problem they were having
really?
I got
afterwards.
diarrhea from
You
that.
already have coffee.
They were saying no to that. In 2022, Howard Schultz said that's when he saw a spoonful of olive oil a day in Italy as a health serum for the coffee. So he said it's going to transform the coffee industry.
Didn't work, huh?
So it's out of there. They're ditching it, but they're doing a silent ditch. Now you know, because I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They're going to phase
Terrible
it out.
idea.
Like, Christmas is coming. We're just trying to minimize our menu. No, that was a fail. Anybody listening right now at 37530 who can tell me they liked that?
Yeah.
Even I didn't want
What's
to
it
try
called?
it. Oleato. Oleato.
Oleato.
It was
so
coffee
you
with
tried it.
olive oil. No, I didn't. Even I didn't try it.
You just thought it was disgusting. So
I
you
just
said
was like,
forget
I
it.
don't get it. I don't want
Why
this.
would you want olive oil in your coffee?
I'm not going to spend $7 already for the iced
find
tea
out.
or the coffee, and then find out they're going to put them. No, thanks. I'm not going to spend $7 on that. I'll spend $7 on something else.
And the ego. Why can't they just admit, hey, we made a mistake?
Well, that's what they kind of are doing.
The only one that's ever done it is Domino's.
Yeah. But isn't that kind of... No, and also McDonald's. McDonald's and Domino's did campaigns on, well, that was terrible. Remember when they did the chicken tenders at McDonald's? They wanted to tell us, eat these chicken tenders. They're all real chicken. And it was like, what the hell have you been serving us this whole time then? And then it didn't work. People didn't want the real chicken tenders like Cane's
But Domino's, though,
from
they-
McDonald's. They want the nuggets.
All Domino's serves really is pizza.
Pizza,
And they were
yeah.
saying, no, our pizza's not what it really should be tasting like. It's not that good.
not good.
So we're going to change some
screwing
things.
you over the last 10 years. Sorry about that.
I missed their old one. Than the
I
new
remember
one.
it.
The new one's too garlicky on the
Oh,
crust.
really?
Just watch Jim Gaffigan, Domino's. Just Google that skit. It's about bread, and bread, and bread.
Hey, yo. Time for KRBE's Roula and Ryan show to tell you what's going down in H-Town.
All right, remember, daylight savings time is this weekend. Clocks will fall back 1 hour at 2 a.m. It'll become 1 a.m. Sunday morning, so get an extra hour
By
of
the way,
sleep.
someone just texted, when you were saying, is it like 50 years ago? And you kind of freaked out. Like, no, it was the 80s. Someone's like, well, that's
40.
close.
Oh my
Is it
God,
40?
you're right. That was 40 years ago.
Is that like
oh God?
in your
Well,
head?
I thought he said 50s. I thought Ryan
Oh,
said the
1950s.
50s.
No. I was like, what was this,
50s would
50
be
years
the
ago? or-
70.
Oh, I thought you said the 50s.
No. I was,
Okay, no.
It's just funny, though, that
how long ago was it?
Yeah,
Okay,
isn't that
so
crazy?
yes, I thought you said the 50s.
If you tell someone, 30 years
but
ago.
You said 50 years ago.
You're like, wait, that's like 1994.
Yeah.
I
30
know.
years ago.
30 years
Exactly.
ago was 1994.
Dumb and Dumber. So
Hey, let's kick off the weekend the right way. Special K, what do you got for us?
As you saw me and Sabrina Carpenter on the Instagram, I will put her in my mix. She asked me to throw in a little remix of Espresso.
Oh, she personally asked you.
She did. We're girls now. Also going to bring in Dua Lipa and mash her up with New Order. And for Sam, I got some Stacey's Mom remix.
Found the way.
That's an inappropriate song now.
Oh,
Sam's got it going on. So,
Have you seen that
throwbacks.
comedy guy? He's like, it's kind of not a good. She's not a good mom. Stacey's mom's not a good mom.
that's next.
You'll hear it on the Friday
mama?
Free for Line KRVE.